flaws, the serious systemic flaws, correct the system, which is only possible in a democracy through the political process. Reach the political process, reach the parliament, participate, don't be afraid, nobody kills you, it's all a myth. The first day I went, my wife said, what the hell are you getting involved in politics for? Don't you have enough work in the office? I go to office. I go, I work, I get a salary at the end of the day. But nothing happens. I promise you, it's all a myth. Nobody kills you, nobody does anything. Get involved, be a politician. If people like you stand on a political stage and present yourself as politicians, the perception of politics in India will change. And that has to happen. Please participate. Please participate to bring political change. Don't be afraid. 18-year-old child is a voter. But we insulate that 18-year-old child. Hey, udhar mat jao. How clear is that? It cannot be. Engaged in the political process. Professionals of India don't get engaged, by the way. They believe it's not their vocation, it's not their calling, and it's not something that they want to get mixed up in. We believe that if the educated, if the professional managers of India get involved in the political process, stand for elections and reach the parliament, this country will change. It will change in 5 years. I invite all of you to visit our website, ppi.net.in. You will see a manifesto. It's a beautiful roadmap. Simple, within the constitution, implementable. By the way, all these solutions are known to the people in the office today also, but they don't want to because it's not in their interest to implement it. It is not in their interest to implement change. Congo and Nino for giving me this opportunity to be here and being able to speak to all of you. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for those enlightening words. Let us begin the fourth Right Every Wrong Conclave with our first panel of the day. The theme being Public Delivery System, Failure of Delivery and Its Consequences. I'd like to invite our esteemed panelists, D.R. Karthikeyan, Professor Ranjan Mahapatra, Siva Kotipalli, and V. Rao Ayagri to kindly join me on stage.
Good morning, friends. That was an excellent keynote from Mr. Krishnan. Thank you very much for that. He spoke about we only chase funds and don't show much impact on the ground. There were 1.2 million NGOs at that time, and there are 1.7 million NGOs 5 years hence. Yeah, most NGOs being run by a friend of mine who used to be Meera Kumar's secretary, Sanjay Kumar. Used to tell me, Jerry, even the peon in this office has 7 NGOs. That tells you where the government money goes, which is our taxpayers' money. Yeah. So the basic idea was how do we kind of create an organization which doesn't really become an apex body, but becomes a collective hub, which is of the NGOs, because I believe that there are a lot of good NGOs out there which are doing good work on the ground. But people have become cynical about the entire sector. So the cynicism just is not with me. So I said, how can we bring the good NGOs to the forefront and say that these are the... We started with 155 NGOs. We've downsized now to 85 NGOs. There are 4,000 NGOs in the pipeline waiting to be audited and become members, but we've not opened membership. So what we do is we basically facilitate funds and try to give it only to the good NGOs, and the funds go directly to the NGOs. It doesn't even go into our bank account. That's how iCongo was found, and we become more like a citizen movement where we actually tell people, don't just give money. You don't need to give money. Ask for accountability. Get involved, because only then can you be the change. If you think you can just give money to a child's face and think the child is going to have a good life, it's like giving money to a begging child at one traffic light, you've forgotten the child at the next traffic light. So don't expect to be the change by giving 1,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees every year and think you kind of bought your pathway to heaven. It doesn't work that way. So that's what actually made us form iCongo. Proud to say that iCongo does not raise any funds or grants for itself, nor do we keep any percentage of monies that we facilitate. And that's the reason we kind of rely on earned models. We are a little activist by nature, so we don't work with a lot of companies, even if they want to give us a lot of money. And we need to kind of be self-dependent and rely on our business model. So we've got Congo Shongo, which is our shopping portal, We have Dishum, iDishum, which has been rechristened now, which is the first citizen reporting portal in India. It has around 1 million subscribers now by virtue of the idea. So purely run by citizens. There are no paid employees. Yeah, it's all citizen editors and reporters who write for it. And the whole idea is to write on socio-political issues, unedited, as long as it's something which benefits the community, it goes up there. So that's a little about iConvo in a nutshell. Just to kind of address the panel about what we're going to discuss today. Public delivery system, failure of delivery and its consequences, and I'm very happy to have with us all our esteemed panelists. And Mr. Pramod Chawla has now joined us. Mr. Pramod Chawla is from the National Network for India. We became partners last year to kind of speak on electoral reforms. And happy to say that a lot of things which have been discussed here, you know, this is like the, what can I say? I mean, we ideate because we don't have the strength of a Times of India to do a Lead India. But Lead India came out of Right Every Wrong. Yeah? The No Criminals movement came out of discussions which were held in the Right Every Wrong conclave last year. So we kind of try to create movements with small ideas which then reach a tipping point. And that's what I think we are proud about, because it has reached there. Panels which have been discussed have now kind of been adopted as curriculum in the University of Peace and so on. One of the reasons to kind of address the issue of corruption, we felt there was a logical flow after electoral reforms, because last year after all the electoral reforms in the country, a lot of people kind of started working on it. We still have a lot of people who should not be in the system, who've been elected in the system. I was in Rajasthan last week, and I was actually kind of evaluating a few projects that we were planning to fund. And the whole idea was to get around 62,000 children to read and recognize numbers in rural Rajasthan. So we donated around 100,000 pounds over there. I also work with a fund called the Let's Dream Fund. While going to the spaces in Dungarpur, in a place called Banswara, and Jadol, it was the same story in all the schools that I visited. These are all government schools. And in every government school, there used to be this nice menu written on a blackboard, which said dal, chawal, khichdi. And on the day I visited, I actually went and I checked the kitchens. In lots of places, they were actually cooking the rice which is given by government in chili powder and turmeric powder and water and giving it to the children. Like I said, it's at a systemic level, it's at a community level, it's at a citizen level. These are all citizens who belong to the same community.